Today I am going to tell you how to understand and identify the insects that you see around yourself. This would be very important for the students of zoology optional, like understanding insects, and as insects compose a very big part of the syllabus. So first of all, we will start with the insect classification. So obviously we are talking about the kingdom Animalia and the phylum Arthropoda. Now Arthropoda means joint appendages. And the class is Insecta. Insecta class is specifically known for having the feature of head, thorax and abdomen. This three-part division and three pairs of legs. Here a distinction has to be made that spiders are not insects, they are arachnids. A lot of people get confused here, so I have written it. Insecta can be divided into two subclasses, that is Apterygota and Pterygota. Now we have to understand that the word breakdown is important here, as Pterygota means wings. So Apterygota will mean the insect that does not has wings, and Pterygota will mean the insect which has wings. Further, Pterygota is divided into two divisions, that is Paleoptera and Neoptera. And Neoptera is further divided into two subdivisions, which is Endopterygota and Exopterygota. Now endopterygotes are where wings develop from inside of the insect, and exopterygota is where the wings are developed from the outside part of the insects. This distinction will be further explained to you. Also you should know that endopterygotes follow holometabolism and exopterygotes follow hemimetabolism. Now further, starting with our first subclass, that is Apterygota. As I have told you that these insects are wingless. The first order here would be of Protura. Now Protura means primitive and Tura means tail. That is primitive tail, that its tail is like a primitive structure that you can see here. And here the thing of the process of anaphymosis is seen. Anaphymosis means when new body segments are added during successive molts. It has 11 abdominal segments, a conical head with no eyes and no antennae. Now in the image you can see that these structures are like antennae, but they are not actually antennae. These are four legs held forwards. They have sensory perception, but they are not antennae. This is a distinction that you have to make in Protura. The second order would be Dipleura. Now Dipleura has two whistled fork tail. As you can see, these are fork tails and monoliform antennae. Monoliform antennae are seen in this form. They are dotted and segmented. A pair of cirri at end of abdomen is also observed, as I have shown in the image. The third order is Columbola, which are also known as springtail. Now Columbola means wedge tube because their structure is like a wedge tube. They have furcula that are jumping organs that help them to move and jump. They have no anal cirri, as you can see. These structures are not present in them, and antennae are present here. Clearly you can see no anal cirri and antennae. Anal cirri is the abdominal segment attachment, which are not present here. The last order here is Thysanura, which is also known as fringe tail. These are very commonly seen pests, silverfish. They are named as fish and also asked once in UPSC, but they are actually insects and found in books, old books. These are transitional in nature, and a pair of cirri and a median filament is seen here, and antennae are segmented. That means they have all the important features. Now to remember all of four of them, I have made a table where you can easily see the main features of them. All of them are wingless. That means they are Apterygot. Thysanura has a median filament, anal cirri and an antennae. As we have seen, a median filament, a anal cirri and antennae. Dipleura does not have a median filament, you can see it, and it has anal cirri and antennae, monoliform antennae, as we had discussed earlier. Now Columbola doesn't have any of them, no median filament, no anal cirri. It has an antennae, I'm so sorry, but Protura doesn't have any of them. As you can see, Columbola has antennae, Protura doesn't have. See, it's clearly demarcated. By this you can easily remember the Apterygotes. Now if we further move towards the subclass Pterygota, which are winged insects, first of all we will see the order the Exoterygota, which is a subdivision, as I have earlier told you, it is a subdivision of Neoptera. The Exoterygota have the wings which develop outside by the wing buds. These are the organs which help in development of wings. The order in Exoterygota first is Ephemeroptera. Now here also the word breakdown will work very nicely for you. If you know that ephemeral means something which is short-lived, hence these insects are short-lived. For example, mayfly. Now if you know the life cycle of a mayfly, the males and the females, as soon as they fertilize or hatch out of the eggs, they have food and they reproduce, they produce the eggs, and as soon as that they die. And you can even observe them in your surroundings when like the Ephemeroptera, or as these mayflies gather around lights and they die as soon as the morning occurs, because their reproduction process is already done. You must have observed it. They are short-lived. They have 2 pair of wings, 2 or 3 long thread-like filament at the end of abdomen. Now you can clearly observe these long filaments, and thus as soon as you see this insect, you can clearly identify that it is Ephemeroptera and a mayfly organism. The next order is Odonata. Now Odonata is very clearly identified. A lot of people must have observed it. It has 2 pair of large membranous wings. 2 pair of large membranous wings. Dragonfly, damselfly are clearly observed. They are also known as helicopter wings, and commonly known as helicopter wings, and they have short antennae. They do not lack antennae in the image if you cannot see it, but they have short antennae. The other order is M.Bioptera. They have flexible folding wings. As you can see, the wings are folded. They have long antennae and silk producing glands, and females sometimes are wingless. See, as you can clearly see. Now here I will show you the anal cirri also. The antennae, female lack wing and the male have folded wings. Next order is order Dictyoptera. Now order Dictyoptera means net wings. Dicty means net and ptera means wings. They have hardened forewings, net-like hardened forewings, which is known as tegmina, and they are membranous in nature. Hind wings, as you can clearly see, the example is cockroach. Also, you might have observed this organism, which is also known as a praying mantis. They have elongated thorax and raptorial forelegs. See, they are apex predators of insects. They also match the color of flowers around which they are, or the color of plants around which they are, and they are apex predator. They eat a lot of larvae, they eat a lot of insects around them, and you should see videos of them eating insects ruthlessly. Hence we complete Dictyoptera. The next order is Isoptera. Now Isoptera consists of ants, and they have monoliform antennae, which are small they have small pale yellow soft body, and they consist of termites. By mistake I mentioned ants, but the Isoptera comprises of termites. As you can clearly see the division. There are also soldier, queen, king division in termites, that I would make a separate video on the social working and social structures of insects if you want to see that also. The other order is Phasmida. Now Phasmida is better known and is famous for its camouflagic structures. Like you can clearly see, this is leaf or stick like structure they have. Stickworm, leafworm, they all belong to Phasmida. This helps them to avoid predators. The next order is Plecoptera. In the Plecoptera, they are also known as stoneflies. They have 2 pair of membranous wings which are folded at rest, and forewings are narrower than hind wings. You can clearly see that. Elongated body, their bodies are majorly elongated. They have long thread-like antennae. For there, I have put pictures for references, as you can clearly identify them. And 2 long cirri, you can clearly see in all of the images. The next order is Orthoptera. Orthoptera consists of grasshoppers, crickets, and catids. Catids are also known for being gregarious pests. Two pair of wings and leathery tegmen. Tegmen is the covering of wings, net-like structure as we had earlier seen in Dictyoptera, and hind membranous wings. They have long antennae. Grasshoppers have short, but usually the antennae are long. Legs are saltatorial in motion and cirri are short. The next order is Hemiptera. Hemiptera is specifically and easily identified by the presence of a triangular organ which is scutellum. Two pair of wings are seen here, and between these wings, that is forewing and hind wing, lies our triangular scutellum, and you can clearly identify by the triangular scutellum that it is a Hemiptera. Now we have Malophaga. Malophaga is known as chewing lice. These organisms are majorly parasitic, hence their bodily modifications are according. These are man parasite. They have flattened broad oval body and clinging legs. Now this is a parasitic modification. Next we have Anoplura, which is wingless Apterus, that is obvious, and it is found in human. It is human lice, and it is an ectoparasite. The hair lice. 3 to 5 segmented antennae and no cirri. The next order is Socoptera. Socoptera is also known as consists of book lice and dust lice. They have Y-shaped head and filiform antennae. They have large eyes and also roof-like wings. See the roof-like structure of wings when they are at rest. They can be macro, brachial or apterous. They have no cirri, clearly identified. The next order here is Zoroptera. The Zoroptera have dark color wings or pale or wingless, and they have minute structures. You can clearly identify them: monoliform antennae, dark colored wings, and pale or maybe pale wings, and minute in structure. Now the next order we have is Thysanoptera. They are also known as thrips. The Thysanoptera have a very differential feature, which is fringed wings, and you can only by this feature identify that it is a Thysanoptera. They have short antennae and 6 to 8 segmented. Fringed wings are main characteristic feature here. Now next is Grylobacteridae, which are wingless cricket or camel cricket. They have elongated flat camel-like structure. You can clearly identify the camel-like structure like a camel hump. They have long thread-like structure, antennae, and they have long spiny legs. Anal cirri is also present, but the camel structure is characteristic of them. Next we will enter into subdivision Endopterygota. The first order here is Neuroptera. Neuroptera, also known as lace wings or antlions. The membranous wings or lace wings appearance. They have membranous wings or lace-like appearance. You can clearly see the membranous wings. And this is a picture of antlions. They have 4 wings, 2 paired. Our next order is Siphanoptera. Now the word breakdown here is siphon. These are wingless, axil and jumpers. Excellent jumpers. You can clearly see the legs which are providing their jumping powers. They have flattened body and mostly live in host fur. They have sucking piercing mouth. Thus Siphanoptera, the word means siphon, to suck out. Our next order is Coleoptera. Coleoptera are beetles. You can clearly identify them by structures, and the main characteristic structure here is this elytra. These elytra are 4 wings. The hardened leathery coverings of which are modified as forewings. They are round, cylindrical in shape. Beetles, this is dung beetle. You can clearly see multiple types of beetles here which have the characteristic elytra. Next order is Lepidoptera. Now Lepidoptera comprises of wings with scales, and they have coiled tube-like proboscis except caterpillar. Caterpillar is a developmental stage. Butterfly and moth are clear examples here. See, you can clearly see the scaly wings and their characteristic, the club-shaped characteristic antennae of butterfly and the fibrous moth antennae. The next order is Hymenoptera. Hymenoptera comprises two pair of wings and they have a narrow waist which is also known as petiole. They are social. They have oviposition stings. The examples here are bees, ants and wasps. Bees, ants and wasps are common examples. The clear breakdown of the word here, hymen here is membrane and membrane wings, membranous wings. The next order, all of them comprises of membranous wings, as you can clearly see. The next order is Diptera. Now Diptera, it is a very common thing that you all must have seen. This is a housefly. One pair of wings, clearly identifiable. Di means two, ptera means wings, two wings, that is one pair. Here word breakdown easily works. They have hind wings, that is, hind wings are modified into halteres. These are majorly used as balancing organs. They have sucking and siphoning, piercing and sucking mouth parts, and they have large compound eyes which have multiple, like 2000 to 20,000 ommatidia, which are eye parts. You must have studied about them. The next order is Strepsiptera. The Strepsiptera is an endoparasite and it has reduced forewings. You can clearly see reduced forewings, which are also known as pseudo-halteres. Now pseudo-halteres are here in Strepsiptera, but halteres are there in Diptera. This you should know. They have large membranous hind wings and female are apterous. That means some females in insectas do not have wings. Still they are there in the pterygotes, but they do not have wings. This is because of modifications. The next order is Mecoptera. Mecoptera is also known as scorpion fly. Now you can clearly see that it has a scorpion sting-like structure, and thus it is Mecoptera, that is scorpion fly. They have prolonged head beak like rostrum. You can clearly see the head beak. Two pair of membranous wings, roof-like rest. When they are at rest, their membrane form roof-like structure. Now this is a very good time for you to understand the difference between moth and a butterfly. When a moth is at rest, it forms this roof-like structure, but when a butterfly is at rest, it forms like this V-shaped structure. This is the feet and here are the feet. So if you have to identify whether it is a butterfly or a moth, you can identify by this distinction. Now further understanding that scorpion-like structure is male genitalia. Here that we understood, it is not a sting but male genitalia, but presents a scorpion-like structure. The next order is Trichoptera, which is known as caddisfly. They have thread-like antennae, two pair wings, and which are membranous in nature. Two pair wings, membranous in nature. Densely hairy roof-like head, clearly identifiable. Now, bravo, you have seen them all. If your content retention and your focus up till here was there, so I have something for you. Now if you ever see an organism, and now that you have learned the classification and the different systems that how organisms exist, and if you want to identify whether it is an insect or not, whether it belongs to which order, you can use this structure. Like I have seen an organism, I don't know whether it is an insect or not, but if it have 6 legs, head, abdomen and thorax, so it would be an insect. Now if this insect is wingless or winged, wingless is Apterygota and winged is Pterygota. As we had previously seen the table where I showed you that if it has a median filament antennae, it is Thysanura, and an anal cirri, it is Thysanura. If no anal cirri but a median filament is present and the antennae are missing, it is a Diplura. If it has no anal cirri, median filament but only an antennae, it is a Columbola. But if it has neither three of them, it is a Protura. Now if it has a wings, we will further see whether it has one pair of wings, then it is clearly a Diptera, that is a housefly, or there can be other members also, but it is a Diptera if it has one wing. But if it has two pair of wings, then we will further identify whether it has an elytra or not. Now by elytra, you have to clearly identify and clearly catch this keyword in order to identify that it is a Coleoptera beetle. If it does not possess an elytra, we will see whether the wings are membranous or not. If the wings are membranous and also it has tail like abdomen, then if it has a thick anal cirri, then it will be Odonata. If the anal cirri are thread like, then it would be Ephemeroptera mayfly, or if they have too long anal cirri, then it will be Plecoptera. If the membranous wings are absent, now it can either have scutellum or it can either not have scutellum. If it has scutellum, sucking piercing mouth part, then it is Hemiptera. But if it does not have and it has folded wing which have loop like structure, then it can be Orthoptera, and if it does not have that also, then it finally is Hymenoptera. With this, I complete my video. Thank you for listening to this. I hope that it was helpful for all the zoology optional students and other curious minds who want to identify and see the insects around them. Thank you.